Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining another LeadSquared webinar. This is Shivani. I'm the one who sends you all the emails. So thank you so much for joining us this Friday afternoon. We have come back with a new webinar. I know it's been a while since we spoke to you all. So we're back again. We are discussing what's new in opportunity management. So the feature that you should be using if you aren't already. So we will discuss the major use cases across industries, smart views and how it can help you. We will also look at reports and automation, and of course we will talk about the major updates to opportunities in the recent past. So to take us through the session, I have Siddharth, who is the associate product manager at LeadSquared. So Siddharth, please tell us a little bit about yourself, about your experience so far at LeadSquared.
Yeah, so first of all, good afternoon to everyone who's joined. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon. I'm Siddharth from the product team of Opportunity Management, and I've been with LeadSquared for almost a year now. And I've had experience in the engineering space as well as a developer in the CRM industry, and I did my MBA. Then went on to do sales for a bit, where I had to use the CRM tool as a user, and then eventually I figured I wanted to get into the product space. So here I am. So that's a little bit about myself.
That's interesting. I did not know that you had a sales background as well.
Yes.
Okay, so lots to learn from Siddharth. Just a quick reminder to the audience before we get started. You have a question tab and you have chat options. So if you want to pass comments or tell us how much you like the session, just put it on chat. If you have questions about what you're seeing, please put that as well. And we will be setting up some polls, so please respond to that as well. With that, I'll let you take over, Siddharth. Please,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I'll be turning off the camera and sharing my screen. All right. Hope that works. Yeah. So before I get started, I just wanted to firstly, like I said, thank you all for joining. And I've had a chance to look at the participants, and I understand that many are users of LeadSquare already, but only some are users of opportunity management, and there are also a few participants who aren't customers of LeadSquare. So keeping this target audience in mind, I've structured the PPT in such a way that no one's left out. So to begin with, I'll start with why opportunity management. Uh, excuse me. Why opportunity management? What are the benefits of using opportunity management? Um, and then go on to explain how opportunity management is in LeadSquared, how the module is structured, and then for the benefit of the existing users, I will kind of focus on the recent feature updates that we've come out with, since a lot of customers are just going through the release notes and still taking time to understand how it can be incorporated into their systems. I will quickly run through some of the main features that we've released in the recent past. And finally, I'll end it with what we have in mind for the upcoming months, basically the roadmap. So you kind of will get the idea of what opportunity management is going to shape into. So having said that, let me share my screen. I hope you're all able to see my screen. That's fine, right? Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let's start. Before we start, let's just start with why opportunity management and what exactly is opportunity management. To answer that, it is important to understand the key difference between leads and deals. So I'm sure as sales folks and users of LeadSquared, you understand what essentially this is. But from a from a from a usage standpoint, basically the difference lies in the fact that leads are basically just potential customers, and that is it. Someone who's clicked on a link, someone who is seen an ad, that is it. Whereas when a lead shows interest, they become qualified, and only when the businesses engage with them and nurture them with these leads, and ultimately when they make a purchase, will they turn into a customer. So this whole process is called the sales cycle, and it is best captured using opportunity management. So keeping track of all these individual processes that sales users have for closing a particular deal can be best tracked using opportunity management. And say when there are multiple engagements that the same customer is going to be involved with, each of the individual pipelines can also be tracked. So like given that the core platform already exists, what are the advantages of using opportunity management? So again, like I've already mentioned, say if the same customer is going to make another purchase. So while we have already captured the customer details, while going through the process, there'll be a lot of forms, tasks, and meetings we'll be setting up, and activities that with respect to a particular. Before I start with this, I just want to say I also have Ashok and Niti with me. Ashok is the lead engineer of a team, and Niti is the lead QA of a team, and they'll be in the comment section in case you have any queries. Since I won't be seeing the chat, they'll be answering them. Uh, Sorry, Ashok and Niti, I forgot to introduce you both. Yeah. So quickly continuing. So the lead is basically going to be when the lead is going to make a repeat purchase, all the information has to be captured again, and there'll be a repetition of forms, there'll be a different set of tasks and different set of meetings that you'll have to keep when the new purchase is being made, and this will lead to a lot of new activities being created on the same lead. So instead, if we keep tracking them as individual opportunities, all the information can be captured in each of these segmented opportunities. That way, it is easier for tracking as well. And say if the same lead is interested in multiple offerings, like in the case of BFSI, uh, say, I mean, again, I've taken some of the use cases in the biggest industries based on the participation in this particular webinar. So, say the lead is interested in a credit card and is also interested in a loan. So now, in the process to close a credit card deal might be different from the process to close a loan. So there might be different set of approvals, different set of information that you'll be capturing for each of these deals. So while if we are only using lead, we'll be capturing all these information as fields in lead itself. While this can work, it is not ideal, right? You'll want to segment each of these individual opportunities, and moreover, there can be different set of. Okay, I'll come to that. So there is also a case where the sales user who is interfacing with the lead will have all the lead based information, whereas the one who's ultimately handling the deal will be a different person. In that case, we don't want the person who's handling the deal to have access to the leads information. So again, if in this is a scenario, instead of having permission templates, we can just create an opportunity and make that person the opportunity owner, and basically the lead owner will have all the access of have access to the lead based information. And since we will be having a different set of opportunities, each with its own activities, it will be easier for reporting as well. And finally, in the case of different sales users handling different deals, it will be easier if each of these opportunities are being segmented and being handled by different users, so as to ensure that they don't get to have a view of what the other sales user is doing. So it isn't important for the sales user who is handling the credit card opportunity to know what is what the same lead is doing with respect to the loan. So these are some of the most important advantages of using opportunity management. And again, looking at some of our biggest customers, these are like our core industries that we are currently focusing on. We also have healthcare, technology, and they are also some of our growing customers. But these are our primary, like the biggest industries that we have right now. So if you're looking at education, the same student can apply for different courses within the same university. And there are also cases where the same student applies for different campuses. Like if it's a big university and the same university has campuses in different cities, the same student can have different inquiries for the different colleges in different cities, and each will be handled by different sales users. And say if you're looking at edtech, the say in case of companies that are into upskilling, the same student can be inquiring about multiple courses. And if there is like a subject matter expert who's handling the particular deal, the one who is handling, say, a management course is going to be different from someone who's handling a programming course. So in that case, each deal will be handled by a different sales user. And when you're looking at uh, uh, excuse me, education, tech companies that are into coaching for school students, typically the parent will be the lead, while the kids will be the opportunity. Basically, the kids who are enrolling into the different courses for different school years will be the opportunities. So we can have the parent as a lead and the student details in the opportunity. Again, coming to real estate, there can be one builder who has multiple listings, and the same customer can be interested in all these different listings. So each of these interests and where they are going, what meetings you're having, what sites you're showing, would be captured in the opportunity. And again, BFSI, like the example I showed, there can be multiple, like in the case of insurance, the same customer can be interested in a two-wheeler insurance and a four-wheeler insurance, and the forms and the details that are captured for two-wheeler might be different from the four-wheeler. And again, if there are different financial services, the same customer can apply for loans, apply for insurance, apply for mutual funds, and each of these will be handled by different sales users. And it will just be too cumbersome if all of them have access to the same lead and all of them are individually handling different activities on the lead itself. So it's best if we have different opportunity types and each of them are working on the opportunity. So having like talked about the opportunity use cases, let's get into the opportunity management structure in LeadSquared. So while this may be different for different organizations, in LeadSquared, what the primary rule is, every lead must have every opportunity must have a parent lead. So every opportunity is created under a lead. Just before I get into this, I will just quickly look at the comment section. Uh, okay, so I guess it's fine as of now. Okay. Okay, let me resume. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? Yeah, cool. Uh, so opportunity management structure, like I said, every opportunity must have a parent lead. It has to be created under a parent lead, and every opportunity will have an opportunity owner. So just like how every lead has a lead owner, every opportunity will have an opportunity owner, and it can be the same or it can be different. and it depends on the customer's preferences and the processes they are using. And finally, the opportunity owner will have access to the lead through entity sharing. So every opportunity owner will have access to the lead under which the opportunity is being created. So now, having said that, there are a lot of possible mappings. So the lead can exist in itself. The lead can have a single opportunity. The lead can have multiple opportunities of the same type, and the lead can also have opportunities of different types. Both the lead can have its own activities, and the opportunities can also have their own opportunities. Sorry, opportunities can also lead can have their own activities, and opportunities can also have their own activities. So. Setting up opportunity, I'll quickly share a video to show how it is done. Is it visible? Yeah. Yeah, I'll get to the features. Yeah. Yeah. So firstly, while setting up, what is actually happening is we go to opportunities section, uh, and basically create, and we are first in the basic details. We talk about what the opportunity name is going to be, and then give a brief description. And we also mention whether we are going to allow users to delete opportunities of this type, and we also mention whether we want to audit all the changes in the opportunity. And in the field configuration part, here is where we create the basic structure of the opportunity type. So by default we'll get all these fields, and we can also add new fields. So if you look at it, you'll be able to see products, origin, all of these are by default mentioned, and we can also create any new field. Again, we have all the data types, basic data types, string, drop down, number, all of them. And I want to also talk about status. So status is basically a dependent field. So status is also status and stage. And we basically have these three options for status: open, one, and close. We cannot edit the status. There are only these three possible entries, and each of these statuses can have any number of stages depending on how the customer is going to be using. I mean, based on their sales processes, they can define what all stages will be there in each of these. So for open, there can be 5 set of stages. For close, there can be for one, there can be 5 set of stages, and for lost also there can be another 3 set of stages. So after defining how it is going to be, we can save that as status. And also we have a data type called product. I'll get back to product a little later. Product is an individual object that will capture what essentially the offering is. So in case of education, product can be something like the course name, where you're capturing what course that ultimately the student is going to sign up for. And apart from that, we also have date, uh, expected date of closure, and all of those fields. Um, in the form configuration section, we'll basically configure how exactly the field should be structured, and what exactly will be filled when the user creates a new opportunity. So when the user clicks on the button for creating a new opportunity, the form that comes up, that is the form that we are defining here. And we can obviously make changes to uh, like basically configure it in any way that the user feels comfortable. So this is basically how we excuse- how we set up opportunity management. So let me go back to my presentation. Yeah. Yeah, so duplicate detection. So why? So before we get into the actual opportunity management module, let's take a look at duplicate detection. So why do we need duplicate detection? So like basically opportunities come from different channels. Like the individual can first look at social media, then make a direct call to the business, and then can go to the company website and register himself or herself. So while a customer is going to make a purchase, they're not going to directly make an individual like one channel approach. They're going to look at a lot of channels to understand exactly the offering before purchasing. Now, while they make all these inquiries, it is important to make sure that all these entries are not captured as different opportunities, because this will take a lot of time, and we don't want each of these opportunities being assigned to different sales users, and all of them basically working on the same opportunity. So for this reason, we need to have duplicate detection. And like let's take the example of the edtech itself. So when exactly will we say an opportunity is a duplicate? So if if the student has the same email ID, and that email exists, that probably might not be enough, because the same student can be asking for a different course. So again, we will also check if the course is also same, and finally we will also check if the status is open. So basically the student can also do the same course again. So in that case, if the status is open, basically the course is not done yet. Finally, in that case, we will say that it's still in the process of payment. In that case, we'll say that okay, whatever information is coming in this particular payload is probably a duplicate, and this we will be capturing it in the duplicate detection log. So again, let me quickly show you how this kind of works. So we'll go to opportunities again. We will go to the duplicate detection page, and what we will essentially do is we will mention, so if the course already exists, and if the email also already exists, and then I will also want to have another level of check, basically saying if the status is also still open, that is he's still not paid for the course, then only and only when only and only if all of these conditions are met will this be logged as a duplicate. And after creating, so the best thing about duplicate detection is for each of these opportunities we can create our own duplicate detection logic. So while for policy we for insurance policy we'll want to basically check if the particular insurer's name and email ID are the same. For whereas for loan, we'll want to check a few more things. So for each of the opportunity types, we can create a different logic for duplicate detection. And once we've created the duplicate detection logic, we can enable it, publish it basically, and then in the logs we'll be able to see where all the duplicates are coming. So here is basically a list of all the duplicates. So this is basically how it works. So yeah, so given that this is how duplicate detection is, let me show you again a video of the main manage opportunities section. So this is basically the main page where we have where the sales user will be operating if opportunities is enabled. So based on the parameters, based on the filters that are applied, the opportunity grid shows up all the relevant opportunities for the particular user. So if you're going to advanced search, again, this is very tightly modeled after the manage leads page. With the opportunity type mentioned, we can use the same filters that we use for each of the opportunity fields, similar to the lead fields. Say you want to add, and again in opportunity as well, we have enabled both and or criteria. So if basically if all these conditions need to be right, or one of the conditions should be right, any of these combinations can work. And what we have also enabled here is the quick filter feature. So in advanced search, sometimes you like, especially in the case of managers, they'll have a lot of complex queries, and maybe they are going to be running them every week or every fortnight. In that case, they can't be querying the same thing again and again. So it's best if they save these search queries as filters. And when they do it and save it, basically, it will be available in the right side of this manage opportunities page. So when we remove the filter and just directly click on quick filters, we'll be able to see all the relevant opportunities. And apart from that, we also have these other filters with respect to stage, status, the product name, and the sales group. With respect to the actions, we can export the entire table, and I will come to this is the basically what fields we want to show. We can quickly select and uncheck. It offers all the flexibilities that even the lead page has. And with respect to row actions, we can add uh, basically update the opportunity directly instead of actually clicking on the opportunity and making changes. Again, we'll get the form that we had configured, and all the changes can be made here. And once we've saved it, the changes will be updated. And we can also delete opportunities from the row directly. We can also add activity. So again, instead of actually going into the opportunity details page and adding activity, we can do it directly from this page itself. And when we're going to we can add tasks as well. So like sales users create tasks on the lead level. Again, this is another layer of segmenting the tasks on the opportunity level. So that is also possible in opportunity management. And the same actions that we've done, we can also do them for multiple selections. On Yeah, so update and delete and change status. All of these we can do it for multiple selections as well. In that case, we'll select multiple opportunities and do it on the table level. So let me quickly go to the right side of this page, or the in this section, the other features that we have. So here is the opportunity, create opportunity page. So the first button basically lets you create a new opportunity. So as a sales user, given whatever access you have, you can create a new opportunity and create it under um, a particular lead. So here you mention what the opportunity name is, and associated contact, you can mention the contact name, and based on the saved contacts, you will be able to create the uh, opportunity under that particular lead. Yeah, so here you were able to add the lead and the deal size you mentioned, and basically create a new opportunity. It will show up here. And since opportunities have to exist under a particular contact, say the contact does not exist, users also have the option to create contact directly here. And finally, coming to the very important feature, import, we can directly import the a file that has all the fields mapped in the CSV file, where all the opportunity fields are columns and the values are. Where did the screen share go? Just 1 second. Yeah, so here we can choose what the what the file you're sharing, and users can select which field should be which column of the CSV file needs to be mapped to which field in the opportunity. And after all the mapping, we also need to mention one lead identifier, basically under which lead the opportunity will be created. So here the identifier is email. So basically it will check for that email and look at the lead and create the opportunity under that. We also have options to like after, I mean, we've just discussed duplicate handling, right? So after identifying if a particular row in the CSV file is a duplicate, we can choose how we want to handle it, either ignore duplicates or override duplicates or update duplicates. So when after choosing these, we'll be able to directly create the import the file and create all the opportunities in one go. So this is pretty much how the manage opportunities section works. And finally, I'll also talk about the details page. So this is the last video. Before that, again, let me just quickly look at the comment section. Okay, cool. So in the details page, what we are essentially going to be able to see is all the details with respect to the opportunity. So whatever we've captured in the form, you'll be able to see it in the opportunity details section. And we can also, like I've already mentioned, the tasks and activities can be created directly in this page as well. So as of now, whatever activities have been done, they'll be listed in the details page. So say we are going to add an activity. That'll once we've created the activity, it will show up in the details page. We have also enabled email for opportunities. So what it will do is basically when we are sending an email from the opportunity details page, it will be sending it to the lead only, except that it will be captured as an activity on the opportunity level. So we have recently enabled this feature. And similar to leads, whatever mail is being sent, it will be captured as an activity here. And all the email activities like email opened, tracking, all of that can be captured on the opportunity level as well. We can also create notes on the opportunity section itself, and it will show up again in the activity history section. We can create tasks. Again, tasks that are specific to only one particular opportunity can be created here instead of creating lead tasks. And in the tasks section, you can basically view whatever is open or pending. And once they are closed, they'll show up in the activity history page. And in the left hand section, this is the opportunity V card. So ultimately, the core details that we want to capture here, again, they can be configured in the opportunity configuration section, and the related contacts. So basically, under which contact this particular opportunity has been created, all of those details will be showing up below. And this is pretty much the opportunity details page. In essence, this is what the sales user will be working on. Now, let me quickly talk about some of the recent updates. So, I think this will kind of benefit the uh, participants who don't have opportunity management enabled for them yet. So, I hope this is you kind of got an idea on what exactly opportunity management is. And now I'll kind of shift gears towards our existing customers, and it obviously is going to help the participants who don't use opportunity also, but kind of focusing on the existing customers, the features that we've recently released that are something that you're not still, or you're still getting onboarded into. So let me share my screen. So new features. So what we've done here is basically we've also enabled. My screen is visible, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what we've essentially done is we've also enabled adding opportunities directly from the manage leads section. So in the manage leads page, you can directly click on a particular row and choose add opportunity and add the opportunity type and create an opportunity there itself. You don't have to individually go to the particular opportunity type. In case there are a lot of opportunity types, this will save a lot of time. We've also created new filters in the opportunity advanced search. So one is basically lead owner sales group. So the sales group currently what it does is basically it checks for the opportunity owner belonging to a particular sales group. If that sales group is selected, all the opportunities belonging to the sales group will show up. Now, this basically is going to select all the opportunities where the lead under which the opportunity is created belongs to a particular sales group. So this is particularly useful for customers who have all the leads are like lead owners are like the primary points of contact. Um, then what we've done is we've also enabled opportunity owner to be multiple selections. So this is particularly useful for managers who want to look at all the opportunities for like more than one set of owners. So they want to see all the opportunities in like three owners that they are responsible for. Then they can choose multiple selections. And we've also added is active and is not active, is inactive parameters. So basically this is extremely useful for businesses where there is a lot of churn in the sales users. So like what managers can typically do is look at all the inactive owners and directly select all the opportunities and bulk update the owner to someone who's active and who can pick up those opportunities directly. So these are like some of the useful filters that we've just added. What we've also done is these two settings are extremely important. Let me just explain what these two features do. So the first one basically what it does is say for example under the same lead there are two opportunities and each opportunity is handled by a different sales user. So earlier, what used to happen was whatever actions are being done with respect to while the sales user of one will not be able to see the opportunity page of the other opportunity, they can still see what all activities are being done there, like creation, change in the field. All of these actions will be displayed in the activity history page of the lead. So what this setting essentially does is a particular opportunity owner will only be able to see all the opportunities that they have access to under a particular lead. So this is very useful when there are competing sales users who are trying to close a deal for the same lead. Like for example, if in the case of education, the same student might be interested in two courses in two different campuses, and one sales user should not be aware of what is going on with the other inquiry. Coming to the second activity, what this essentially does is basically it will hide the previous. So when the opportunity owner is changed, and we want the new owner to treat the opportunity as a new opportunity and not something that has already been worked upon by some other user. All the activities that were created by a user that is in the current user will be hidden. So both of these will help in the sales user productivity. And what we've also done is a big problem that a lot of customers were facing was when the opportunity owner is changed, especially like I've already mentioned, when the churn is high and all the inactive customers are, all the opportunities of the inactive owners are being moved to a new owner. What happens is the task owners tend to remain with the previous sales user. So what this particular setting does is basically all the pending and overdue tasks, which the obviously will fall upon the new sales user, will be moved to the new opportunity owner. And we've also enabled adding activity to multiple opportunities in the manage opportunities section, and the smart views page as well. And finally, what we've also added is an update on the capture opportunity API. So this is particularly useful because a lot of our customers were making two API calls. So firstly, when they are sending a payload and the an API call and the particular set of values are being identified as a duplicate, it just logs it as a duplicate and does nothing. So the new entry, whatever values are being sent, are not being captured. So what users had to do was basically when it was being logged as a duplicate, they had to basically either import all the duplicates and then import the files and overwrite the values, or make another API call for update. So what we've done is we've basically enabled two more parameters for update and overwrite of duplicates, and the basically in one go, if it is a new opportunity, an opportunity is created, and if it is an existing opportunity, basically a duplicate, it either overwrites the values or updates the values. And finally, a very important feature again is restricting actions on closed opportunities. So some of our customers who are like, what happens is when the sales user has closed the opportunity as won or lost, the deal is basically done, and they don't want them to make any additional changes to the particular opportunity, be it adding new activities, or be it adding changing the values in the fields, changing the expected value or whatever. So they want to keep the integrity of the data intact. So this setting will ensure that once a deal is closed, the sales user will not be able to touch that particular opportunity, even if the sales user is the owner. So in this case, only the admin user can again change the status to open again, and only then will the sales user be able to make changes. So this is pretty much what we've delivered in the last couple of releases. And this is the last section. So I'm trying to talk about the upcoming features, the ultimate roadmap that we have in the next couple of, I would say, next couple of months. So what we're doing is here we are enabling email, phone, geolocation. So and data types. So what was happening was a lot of customers wanted to store secondary emails or again in the case of edtech where students are the lead is the parent and the kids are the student kids are the opportunities. They'll want to store the details of the kid on the opportunity. So in that case, we hadn't enabled email and phone on the opportunity level. So right now we can store all the email and phone details as fields in the opportunity section itself. Geolocation will be especially useful for field sales agents. So when they go for the field calls, they can actually save the addresses based on their GPS location in for that particular opportunity. And we had date time. We are now enabling date field as well. And there is also a new system, like a new unique ID field called Auto ID that we are introducing. So what this essentially does is it will be a non-editable field, and it will be a unique number that is assigned to a particular opportunity. And this ID can be used for updating, retrieving, or making changes to the opportunity. Basically, this will serve as a unique ID that earlier we didn't have where for opportunity. And coming to campaigns, so what we are essentially doing is we are also going to be enabling mail merging opportunity fields in the content. So we mentioned the opportunity type, and all that particular opportunities fields will be available in the content section, and in the templates that marketing users or sales users are trying to create, they can create the content with those fields as well. And once you save this campaign and we're sending out these emails, like the one-on-one emails, these emails also will be captured on the opportunity level, and all the email activities like send, open, email open, email subscription, subscribe, unsubscribe, all of these can also be tracked in the opportunity campaigns. And we will also I mean, as part of the campaign feature itself, we'll also be enabling opportunity lists. So directly in the manage opportunities page, we can set create a set of parameters, and add these I mean, whatever results are coming across, we can save the opportunities. I mean, the opportunities that are showing up, we can add all the opportunities to a particular list. And these lists can say we want to target opportunities that we have lost. We can just choose status equal to lost, and whatever opportunities are showing up, we can add them to a particular list. And if there is a campaign that is going to be targeting the set of leads whose opportunity we've lost, we can just add that list and send out an email, send out a campaign. So ultimately, with these two features, what we're looking to do is customers can now run an end-to-end campaign on the opportunity level. So what opportunity customers earlier were doing was they were handling the deals on the opportunity front and sending out marketing emails and campaigns on the lead front. So that mismatch won't be there for our customers anymore. And yeah, so products, like I had mentioned earlier, is like a separate object that basically captures the product name alone. What we are trying to do is basically enable customization of this particular product's object, where we can add any number of attributes, and basically which will be consistent for a particular product type. Say for example, if um, it is in the education sector, we're talking about a product called uh, business analytics, and this will be under a product type called management. Instead of and there will be a vertical for management, and all the related fields that will not basically change for that particular product. So what we can do is we will be enabling the addition of all these new fields that will be captured on the product, and ultimately when the opportunity is being created, only the product name has to be specified. So we don't have to save all these redundant, all the other fields that are going to be same anyway. So all those fields can be pushed to the products end, while again the deal-based information around can be captured in the opportunity field section. And what we're also going to do is enable opportunity share. Again, we're looking at use cases where when a particular opportunity reaches a certain stage, we'll want that particular the opportunity to be sent to another team. There is, like, say, an approval team that wants to evaluate documents and then send an approval. That is not going to be handled by the sales user. So in that case, we want another sales user to sales user, basically an approval team, to have access to the same opportunity. Currently, what customers are doing is basically changing the opportunity owner to this team and then again changing it back to the option to the sales user. So I ideally don't want that. So opportunity share will enable them to have access to a specific amount of time where they have to finish their approvals. And once that period is done, the current opportunity owner will be the sole opportunity owner once again. And this will also be enabled. This can be done through API and will also be enabled through automation. Like I said, like if it reaches a certain stage or if a new activity is performed, on that trigger, we can enable opportunity share. And we have like a rich set of APIs for create, update, retrieve, and deletion of opportunities, like all the um basic functions. Customers, you business, like the interfacing with LeadSquared and another tool, or interfacing with LeadSquared and your backend website, all of that uh, can be handled with the APIs that LeadSquared provides for the basic functions. And you can have a look at it in the API docs section. So with that, we come to the end of the presentation. Um, uh, we've also had like a lot of updates on opportunity reports as well. So we've got opportunity distribution analysis, then user based user productivity reports on the opportunity level. So the report section actually will be separately handled in another webinar probably. So with that, we conclude this session. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to uh, take them up.
Hey, hi Siddharth. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen lots of questions, but we are so glad to have Niti and Ashok on this session because they have taken care of everything. I know there are a few others that have come up, so I'll probably just ask aloud the ones that will benefit the audience at large. So, what sort of timeline can we expect for the new features that are going to be rolled out? So, that's a question that's from Anurag. So, for the benefit of everyone, Siddharth, what sort of timelines are we looking at?
For which one, Shubhani? Sorry.
For the new features that we discussed.
Yeah, so we are looking to send out all these in the beginning of the first quarter of next year.
Okay. So I hope that helps you, Anurag. I don't see. So again, a lot of you asked about the recording. So yes, that the session has been recorded, and you will get that in your inbox very soon as well. So you can go back and look at it. The videos that we played, that those will be shared with you as well. I'm probably not going to take up any other questions live because they have been addressed by Ashok and Niti here. So I think we are good to conclude that. Do
Okay.
you have any other concluding points that you'd like to add to that?
That is it. So I just wanted to ask if the session was helpful, and like at least there is some clarity on what opportunity management is, and if they can take a clear decision on whether they want to go ahead with it, or if it'll work for their current business processes.
Okay, so I am already seeing comments. So Abid says very helpful with a smiley face. So I think that's one answer. The rest of you, if you found it helpful, we just want your feedback. Generally, what did you think of it? Was there something that we could have covered in detail? A little more detail. So any sort of feedback will really help us because we are here to help you. So feel free to email me as well. Post this session with any other comments or questions that might come up later, and I will loop in Ashok, Niti, and Siddharth in that response. Okay, with that, I think we can conclude the session. Yes, the recording will be shared. I have seen so many questions about that. So yeah, it will be shared. Lakshmi says yes, it was very helpful. Raghu also says it was very helpful. So I can see that clearly people did find it helpful. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for your time, and Niti and Ashok for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye bye. See you.